Resident Evil.
So, Shadow of Rose is a mixed bag, to say the least. There's some stuff that kind of really pissed me off. Some forced stealth kind of stuff that you haven't seen since like Lord of Shadows 2, and some of it, it's just, I think, antiquated to these days. There was some stuff of the 360 era. It's like, you didn't do this shit exactly right, so screw off, you suck, do it again. And a lot of failure-based kind of things. And I played on hardcore mode. There were some sequences that are just like reminiscences of Resident Evil 6, where you're having to run through shit. And maybe it works better on the normal or standard mode, but on hardcore, I felt it was overtuned, where if you didn't do things exactly, perfectly, correctly, you got fucked. And that kind of really just kind of reined in on my experience. There's some things here. There's some sequences that they've started since Resident Evil 7, and it was also in Village, where you're essentially taking away some of the more modern, like more of the Resident Evil open doors looking guns and shit, and you have like these kind of puzzle things, and there's kind of like this psychological things, and this is like this stuff that's set off explicitly to the side, and they were great in 7 in Village. Were freaking amazing. And I was really digging this one to a point, but it got, once these bullshit sequences came in, which is the later half of the game, I was hot. I was pretty hot. The final battle, I felt, was a kind of a retread, and honestly, but this is the end of Village, which was a freaking amazing game, and I like Resident Evil 7 as well. An interesting choice for them to only allow third-person mode, at least as far as I freaking know. I didn't see anything that was like, oh, we'll just turn on first person. The third person is the default. It's the way they designed to play this game, and I bet you that might be the end of first-person Resident Evil. It's kind of looking like it. I honestly wasn't too worried about it. I thought that the character Ethan was a blank slate. That was kind of the problem. He just has had just the freaking like badass, cool. He's not Leon, he's not Chris, he's not Claire. He was Ethan. He was like a blank, player insert, and that wasn't what was off about 7 and Village to me. Not the first person mode. I thought the first person mode was pretty cool, but that's gone. That's that here. Rose is a kind of a cool character. She's got superpowers, and this has to do with the story of the mode. The mode that started in Resident Evil 7 has come back, and it kind of brings 7 and Village together, and it wraps up everything. Lots of throwbacks to some of the other stuff. Not much so much the Bakers, but a lot of the modi goofy crap that happened in Resident Evil 7. The enemies are some kind of ash monster bullcrap. But like werewolves got too many hit points. Zombie freaking damn, I don't know, cauliflower monsters, whatever the hell it is. You kill them shits and you want them to die, and of course in hardcore you don't have enough ammo to kill these fuckers, and it's like almost not worth your time to try to fight them, so you try to avoid them as you can. I've got no problem with that. There was, I think, toward the beginning, when you're back in Lady D's castle or whatever it is, but it's like been remixed and revamped. It felt very, very corridory compared to Village, which was linear to a point, but it also kind of let you branch out and explore. There's very little exploring, honestly, in this game, and you felt like as soon as you got completed with the area, it would shut the shit off from me, honestly, and you wouldn't be a point to go back to it the way there was in Village. And so I think that the Shadow Rose didn't build upon the strong points of Village at all, like all the exploration, to going out and finding the treasures and all of that other, the shinies and all that other cool stuff that made Village freaking awesome. It's not here, and so it's something that I can't really recommend. It's around, well, I said my playtime was 4 hours and 30 minutes, but it was more around 6. Because I died a shit ton, man. And I'm not bad at these games, but I died a shit ton to these fucking extensive running down corridor bullshit sequences. If you didn't do exactly freaking the way they wanted you to, when they did disorient your ass on purpose so that you fucking run the same thing about 10 times in a row. And you realize it's like, this is kind of It's old and antiquated. I don't feel like this was modernized the way that Resident Evil 7 was modernized at all. I didn't like it too hot at all, and I cannot recommend it. I would love to be able to recommend it, but I think this is something that's completely skippable. I don't think Resident Evil Village is skippable. I think Resident Evil Village should be played. Too many people are not going to play 7. They're not going to play Village. They're going to go from freaking the Remake 3 to Remake 4. But, I mean, that's a complete diatribe. You should play Resident Evil Village. You don't need to get Shadow Rose. And I didn't even bother to play the extra modes, but I know that third person has been added with this whole Resident Evil Gold, Village Gold, like final DLC or whatever the hell is going on. I really was just mostly interested in the Rose DLC, and it's beefy for what it is. It's not particularly good, but it settles out the story. It finishes off the Ethan Winters saga, bow on top, all that jam. So if you're into the story, the lore, come on in. But this is skippable, or it might be, maybe like when it's on sale for $10. I forgot exactly how much this thing. I think it was $30. I'm not sure. When you catch it on sale for like 10 or 15, grab it then.